How's it going, everybody? Oh, sorry about that. How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether price is going up or down. Over on Dixie for the daily, we do have a little bit of a push forward. We did see crypto sell off, so we are seeing that inverse relationship. RSI does want to push up, stochastic is trying to gain strength. VWAP does want to break neutral. Watch if we get higher highs. If we do, we could create a bullish trend with those higher highs and higher lows, pushing momentum higher, and that would give money flow the strength to run us forward. Remember, if money flow goes green, we would typically push forward, see further buying action, and possibly push to the 300 EMA. So we did push to our previous gapped area. We are meeting support, but remember, we do have a gapped area below us, so we do want to watch. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we are seeing a little bit of indecision right now. So dominance isn't really going far. Bitcoin in total are pretty close together, so that's why. Our stochastic does want to pull back. RSI is weakening. Momentum does look like it's pushing down as that VWAP favors bearish. If that VWAP continues to push down, momentum could break bearish and money flow could follow. It could result in altcoins performing better than Bitcoin, but we would have to see. Over on our total, we are starting to push away from this rising channel, so we can call that a possible early breakdown. We could see a full move to around, let's see, right around 525. If we do not hold that level and we make a lower low, then we could see a continued sell-off and create a bearish channel where you have those lower highs with lower lows. Our stochastic does want to round, RSI is pulling back. VWAP does have lower highs, so watch for lower lows as that would bring momentum lower and cause money flow to sell off. And as total does lead our altcoins, that would push our altcoins lower. Over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, we did get a bounce off that support level, so that does look positive, but we are struggling to hold above. Currently, tomorrow's candle just opened, so we would want to give it some time. Ideally, we get a green candle and push to that value area low and reclaim above it. If we can do that, we could still push forward, but we do look a little indecisive and we could end up breaking down if we're not careful, making lower highs here. So watch for a lower low. If we break that 53K, make a lower low around that 52K, that's where we could see that bearish continuation. That bearish continuation could end up dropping us lower if we're not careful. Stochastic doesn't want to pull back. RSI is starting to weaken. Our VWAP is starting to favor a little bearish, but it's not a very strong wave yet. Keep an eye on it. Momentum does want to pull back. Money flow is selling off, so I would watch that VWAP. If it stays bearish here, momentum will continue to weaken. Money flow will pull back, and futures will continue to sell off. And as futures does lead Bitcoin, that would cause Bitcoin to sell off as well. Over on Bitcoin for the daily, we broke out of our flag that we called in the Discord, so if you're not in there, join that link in the description. Stochastic does want to round. RSI is pulling back. VWAP does want to get a lower low after getting those lower highs. It does give us that bearish momentum. If that VWAP continues that bearish momentum, momentum will reject with that red dot, and we will see money flow fall flat. It will result in further selling action. Over on the 4 hour, you can see we tried to whipsaw around. We did say in the Discord, watch for that VWAP to stay bullish, but that did not happen on lower time frames. RSI is pulling back, stochastic is rounded. VWAP does have a consistent low, so I would watch as that high was very weak, and we just peaked in the bullish territory and got rejected. Momentum does want to pull back, and money flow is starting to sell off. Over on the 2 hour, you can see we hit right around the top of that channel and got a rejection, so that's where you would have wanted to watch for a push forward, and we did not get that. VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum is pulling back, money flow is bearish, stochastic's dropping down, and the RSI does want to pull back. Over on our 1 hour, our RSI is pretty flat, stochastic does want to push up. If that can continue forward, we could see price rebound here, and we could try to make a higher high after this with higher lows. If we do not make higher highs and higher lows soon, we will form that bearish continuation we have mentioned with those lower highs and lower lows that do not connect. Remember, that does give you further downside, so I would watch if we break that 56.9. If we break that again, then it's likely the bears are going to try to push us toward that 52K. Our VWAP does want to push neutral, momentum is trying to gain strength, and that money flow is flat. So if that VWAP can get another strong wave like back here with a weak wave in the bearish territory, then we could push up. But if we continue to whipsaw like we did back here, we're likely going to see price action continue to whipsaw up and down with more sell-off than buying. Over on graph for the daily, we are starting to break away from our channel, so I would exercise caution. If you drag this out, you can move your line, and that would be an initial break. We got about half the move down if you do that. Stochastic does want to pull back. RSI is starting to pull back. VWAP is starting to weaken. Watch it close as it wants to break that neutral and become bearish, which would cause momentum and money flow to pull back, which would push price action lower. Over on the 4 hour, we do have a break of our channel. If you're in for a short, you would look for a retest to the top. We push up, retest our channel or our EMAs, then get rejected. That's where you would want to take in on your short, because that's where your chances of falling lower would be higher. Right now, we pretty much saw the full move from that rejection of our 14,316, and if you didn't make the move then it's probably too late. VWAP is favoring bearish. We do have a weak high, so I would watch. We're getting consistent lows. This does have a setup to continue to weaken. Momentum does want to pull back. RSI and stochastic are falling, so overall that 4 hour does not look very positive. Over on the 2 hour, we are continuing lower, breaking that channel again. Watch for that retest and rejection. If we see that, that's going to give us that push to that 12.5. Stochastic is pulling back, RSI is weakening, VWAP has lower lows, momentum is breaking down, and money flow is selling off, so that 2 hour doesn't look very strong. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic does want to run up, RSI is trying to push forward, momentum does have a green dot, signaling that that VWAP does want to push up, so watch that VWAP close. We need higher highs with higher lows if we're going to make a rebound and continue further. If we get those higher highs and higher lows, and then we do not maintain that momentum at the bottom of this channel, that's where you could see that rejection. Over on Ankr for the daily, we are starting to reject EMAs, so I would exercise caution. Stochastic is pulling back, RSI is pulling back. That VWAP does want to break down. Momentum is rounding with a red dot as that VWAP breaks down, signaling that we do want to continue to drop, and that could weaken money flow, signaling that we do have more selling pressure. Over on the 4 hour, we're kind of whipsawing back and forth. RSI is weakening, stochastic's dropping, VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum's breaking down, money flow is starting to push down, so I would exercise caution. Watch those lower time frames. Over on the 2 hours, stochastic has lower highs and it wants to break. RSI is falling down. VWAP does want to break bearish. We did go bullish, but that wave did not last very long. So watch for a rejection to neutral. If we reject neutral or make a lower weak high, then it's likely bears will maintain control and we will get those lower highs and lower lows, which will push us down. Momentum is pushing down, so watch that close as that will bring money flow lower. Over on the 1 hour, stochastic does want to run up, RSI is trying to push forward, VWAP does want to break bullish, momentum does have a double green dot. We do look positive, but again, watch that VWAP close. We need higher highs with higher lows from here. If we do not get that, the bears are going to win and end up pushing us down. So over on XRP for the daily, we did reject that 57,394. I would watch. We did hold above our 300 EMA though, so that is positive. Stochastic does want to round. RSI is starting to go flat, so watch that stochastic. VWAP is starting to push bearish. Momentum is starting to favor bearish, and money flow is losing steam. That doesn't look too good for us, and I would watch lower time frames. Over on the 4 hour, we are trying to hold that EMA. If we can hold and break above that 57 and hold, unlike we did back here, then we could continue forward and try to test toward that 67 star. I got something in my eye and it doesn't want to go away, but if we can break that and hold, we could push up, gain strength. However, if we see this EMA get broken, it's likely we're going to break down. I would watch very close. This is a long lower shadow, but if followed by a red candle, we're going to see further sell-off. RSI is pulling back, stochastic is rounding, VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum is breaking down, and money flow is pulling back, so that 4 hour does look like it's about to reverse. Over on the 2 hour, we did break our EMA. We are coming back up for a retest. Watch that retest very close. It's going to be critical. If we do not get back above and hold, then we're going to see that rejection and see bears gain control. Stochastic is dropping, RSI is weakening, VWAP does have lower lows, so watch for lower highs, as that would cause momentum to continue to sell off, causing money flow to remain red and showing further selling pressure. Over on the 1 hour here, apparently I can't read. Over on the 1 hour, we rejected our EMA as well, so again, watch for a retest. RSI is trying to push up, stochastic wants to gain strength, momentum is pushing with a green dot, and our money flow is bearish, so watch that VWAP close. Again, if we get lower highs with lower lows, we will see momentum remain bearish, money flow will break down, higher time frames would push down. Watch that VWAP though. If we do stay above this neutral over the next few candles, we could see momentum gain strength, and if that momentum continues to gain strength for several hours, money flow could go green, and we could try to run up. Finally, last but not least, we have ALGO. Since there's no special requests, we did get our full breakdown, so I would exercise caution. On the daily, you really didn't have much confirmation or chance to gain on that short we mentioned. Stochastic does want to round, RSI is pulling back, VWAP wants to break down, momentum is rounding, and money flow is selling off. We'll have to watch the lower time frames to see if there was any confirmation for that trade. Over on this 4 hour, stochastic's breaking down, RSI is pulling back, momentum has bearish divergence, and it's breaking down as that VWAP favors bearish with lower lows and weak highs. If that continues, money flow will end up breaking down, and we will continue to slide. Over on the 2 hour, we don't really have much confirmation. We did try to get that bullish break. We were rejected. That could have been your hint, but that's not always a guarantee. Ideally, you watch for those retests. If you wanted your bullish break, we needed a green candle where we dumped here. Stochastic is breaking down, RSI is pulling back, momentum is favoring bearish, VWAP is breaking down, and money flow is bearish. So if that VWAP does not reverse, we're going to see those higher time frames start to get weaker. Over on the 1 hour, again, not very much confirmation. We did break that EMA. We had 2 hours where we kind of were flat. We tried to get back above it and we rejected. That could have been your hint of that sell-off. We do have a gap above us though, so that is positive. Because remember, gaps have an 80% chance to fill. So there's an 80% chance we're going back to that 12-cent area. RSI is weakening, stochastic wants to pull back. VWAP is rounding away and momentum is dropping. If that VWAP does not reclaim bullish territory and hold, we will see continued sell-off, but remember, we do have a light at the end of the tunnel with that gap. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I appreciate all of you.